Welcome back, everybody, to Amateur Not Pro, and today I'm going to be doing a Broly painting, and this is from the movie Dragon Ball Super Broly. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark everything down with a Sharpie since I already drew it in pencil. I didn't want to really film the pencil part because it was so tedious and it took forever, so I'm just going to show you the Sharpie part. I would use something else like an ink pen, but I thought Sharpie would just do the point, would just do the most because then I could see it under the paint that I'm going to apply. The next thing I did is I used baby wipes since I have a bunch of them because of my 2-year-old son to erase all the pencil markings and everything to make it as clean as possible and to wet the canvas a little bit before I apply more paint. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put masking tape over the entire Broly. That way I can paint the background a lot easier and try to make it look as nice as possible in the background before I ever get started on Broly. For the background, I was mainly going with the space theme, but I wanted a lot of his green and yellow energy to show. So I start off with heavy coats of green paint. I didn't really like the one I got from Michaels. It was super, super thick, and I didn't like the fact that it still showed a lot of the under the canvas or showed a lot of the canvas. Maybe because I didn't prime it. But it wasn't the best. Next time I'll choose a different green. I also put black on the edges. That way you can see a little bit of space. I might end up putting some white dots or putting some kind of energy dots around that area. But for now, I'm trying to see what it'll look like first, especially after I add the energy of Broly. The next thing I'm doing is putting a little bit of universe warps or basically trying to do an effect where he's breaking the universe just like in the movie and in the old movie as well. With the background looking decent enough, I take off the tape and I start doing some of the paint on the face and the hair. And I'm definitely going to be using a regular skin tone for most of his body. I'm going to be adding a little bit of brown for some of the pecs and things like that. And I'm going to be keeping a simple brown for the darkest areas. Honestly, the amount of time it took me just to put this paint down was so long and tedious. I don't think I'm going to be doing these huge canvas paintings, at least not that often, since it just took a very, very long time and I didn't have the right brushes to make it a little easier for me or the right angle. I might need to get a new easel, something a little bit taller since I'm 6 foot and I think this one was super short. So I kept having to bend down just to apply some of this color. Now that I'm applying the coat of brown, I also use one of my paint markers to outline everything, especially his scars. That way you can really see what he's going to look like by the end of this painting. I also went over the background a little bit more here and there since I didn't like the effect that I was creating. After the body and everything is done, I move on to the hair. I basically just mix white with some of the green I already had. And I kind of messed up on the hair a few times, so you'll see me apply some more green coat, regular green on it to make up for it. And then I mix a little bit of black with the green to get some of the darker shadows. And of course, I go over with the paint marker once I'm done doing the hair. That way you can really, really see it be dope, just as dope as the skin. Now, with a few finishing touches to the hair and the background and using my paint marker, I think it's starting to look so dope. I'm actually proud of this painting, and I know I can do a lot better if I just try on my other large canvas to do something just as dope.